Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thanks for joining me in the office. That's right, I work a 9 to 5, and at the end of the day, I record these YouTube videos so I can give some alpha to all my friends out there in the RH ecosystem. Here at Ayyoo Crypto, we concentrate on just a handful of things: Hex, Pulse, PulseX, the Ink token, and news, updates, and things that surround the RH Pulse Chain ecosystems. Now we're going to look at some charts today, but on top of looking at these charts, I want to talk to you guys about the 3 reasons why you should hold that bag and not fumble. And I know it's hard out there, but right now, this is where they think they got you cornered. And this is not the time to capitulate. Now's the time to brace yourself for the war. It's time to go, baby. Ayo, let's get it. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me here again on Ayyoo Crypto. What I have right here pulled up at this moment in time is the Pulse Chain chart. Let's just take a look at what we have going on compared to what we had going on yesterday. As I was saying before, yes, that was an ugly dump. We're looking at the 3-day chart right now. I kind of like the 3-day chart for multiple reasons. It allows us to get a nuanced look to what is kind of going on in the given moment in the market. Plus, it's got a little longer of a duration, so we can get more reliable data, because the longer that we look at the data, whether it be the monthly or the weekly chart, the better. So I find it's not quite as degen as the 4-hour and the daily, but it still gives a good insight as to where that weekly might close and kind of what's happening within that 3-day candle, within the dailies, right? Without really dedicating ourselves to small time frames. So with that being said, we're going to start here looking at the 3-day chart. As you can see, we started a move on around early August up. We went down and we found ourselves a bottom. I have higher lows, higher highs, higher highs, higher lows, higher low again in the range. And then what we saw was some confidence in mid-September. That confidence shot us up all the way to 4075 almost, which we kind of established the top of a range at that point. We came back down to the 21 EMA, which is what I have here as the golden dots. Back up, we broke that higher high, and I said this yesterday. This is a great reason why not to leverage trade, because a lot of people, if they didn't see this channel initially, and remember, charts are just educated guesses. None of it is science. I wouldn't want to quite call it an art because I don't want to make myself self-important at all. I have very mid-curve, simple approach to charting. But the reality is, a lot of people would have got wrecked here seeing the higher high on November 9th area, in that area, and went long because it was a higher high, followed by a higher low. And what ended up happening was what we're seeing here on this chart, which is complete dump down right here. We don't really, let me just see if this works. Good. We don't really like what's happening right now, obviously, but I'm here to talk to you about the 3 things that I think are a good thing that's going on right now. Okay, thing number 1, we're capitulating. That's pretty clear. But if you take a closer look at what's happening, market structure-wise, in this move, we look okay. We're going down, we went up, we're going down. If I were to continue this, I could say if we could hold this line right here, we can go back up. And there's no problem at this point, because this green line right here, this is the 3-day super trend, which is just a collection of moving averages that a lot of bots and a lot of people trade on these signals. We actually had a nice rejection here, and I don't necessarily like to do this, but I'm going to go down to the daily to see how that reacted. And we're kind of wrecked on the daily. I get it. We've breached the super trend on the daily, but this is something we also have to look at too. I'm going to move to the weekly chart. We're forming this ginormous symmetrical triangle. And pardon me. And from where I stand and the way I see it right now, yes, we're going down within this triangle, but we are at the last stand. We're nearing that area. The new year will be the last stand. And if we could retest the bottom of this triangle like we've been multiple times and find some relief upwards, that's a bullish signal. So right now we're on the weekly. Let's look at some of our other indicators. I see right here, we just don't have the data, for example, for the MACD to really kind of give us any glimpse yet. But according to the RSI, we have a lot of room to go up. The relative strength index kind of tells us how hot the market is. And right now it is ice cold. So we have a lot of room to move up. Let's pull it back to the 3-day so we can catch some more data regarding the other indicators here. We are mid-range on the RSI, which means we have room either up and down, kind of neutral. The MACD, we flipped red on the MACD, but the saving grace to an extent here is that the signal line and the MACD line aren't too terribly far apart. This could curl up at any point. If we can get a light red or a pink candlestick on the MACD, we can come back real quick, and it's really not an issue. MACD doesn't look great, but it's not the end of the world here. I'd rather refer my attention back to this chart. Volume is still kind of low throughout the monthly, the weekly. As we all know, there's been a lot of money leaving the RH ecosystem over the last couple of weeks. All we need is a little pump to restore some confidence in the market and get things going back up. So all in all, I'm going to call Pulse Chain. It's not bullish, it's not bearish, it's very neutral right now. But I want to say if 5 was neutral and 4 was kind of bearish and 1 was really bearish and 9 was extremely bullish and 6 is kind of bullish, I'm going to give it a 5.5 because we showed strength here, and there's always going to be capitulation in a market. This is shaking out the weak hands. Once again, we're going to refer to the Wall Street cheat sheet. And if you take a look at this, for example, this was hope, disbelief. Hope, back to disbelief. We're going to get another hope, another disbelief rinse. But if we can make a higher high, for example, if we can make a higher high, then we'll be okay, right? Let's say we make a higher high right here, and then we go back to hope, disbelief. Well, then guess what? We're back at sack price right in this range right here. So it's going to take some time. I wouldn't doubt, hey, look at where I'm at here. This is May. And what did Richard Hart say for many times? 52 weeks. 52 weeks to shake out the weak hands, right? So we're kind of getting there, guys, and the name of the game at this point is patience. So let's move on. We're going to the Pulse X chart. I am a Pulse X maxi. Sacrificed a lot for Pulse X, and I find it beautiful that the term sacrifice was used for what happened with these projects, because if you're feeling anything like me, you definitely sacrificed a lot. You sacrificed some tears and some worry and some regret and some dignity too. So we've absolutely all sacrificed a good deal to be part of the RH ecosystem. And hey, I know I mentioned this before, but before I go any further, I'm recording off of a laptop in my office after work. The laptop is shoddy. The microphone's probably shoddy, but hopefully the content outweighs all of those negatives. Most of you guys are probably just listening on your phone anyway. But let's keep trucking forward here. Looking at the Pulse X chart, they're all tied together, right, folks? So our Pulse chain, Pulse X, we are all kind of in the same boat, except this chart is much more wrecked regarding the price currently. This is pretty low. I mean, we're talking 4013. We're down 80. Let me just do the math real quick. Actually, we'd have to go the other way. Delete that. No, I don't want to do that. Whoopsie. Go like this. Let's get where's SAC price. Oh my goodness, this is really bad. Folks, I know, I'm preaching to the choir. Look how flat this chart looks, only because we are unable. I'm gonna pull this down. Boom, we are down 85%. That is sad. I know, it's hard. But let's talk about those three things. Okay, the three things we talked about with Pulse a little bit. We still have a healthy market structure. Okay, at the end of the day, we have a healthy market structure. Same thing here. I mean, we got dumped on REKT, but we're holding. We are holding to an extent, right? Disbelief, hope, disbelief. Let's make a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. If we can maintain a market structure kind of in where this parallel channel is that I've made here, it won't be too bad. So let's keep in mind, we still are keeping market structure. Second reason why it's not such a bad thing, the community is super strong, guys. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I probably have like 10 subscribers, maybe 10 people watch my videos. I'm hoping it grows. That's how we do things, right? Everything starts from a seed, and don't disrespect yourself when the small beginnings occur, right? So just keep trucking on. But with that said, the community is strong. We have 180 plus creators, all doing their thing with their own personalities. We don't see that in other communities. That's the bottom line. Not even Bitcoin or Ethereum. I don't see people who are strictly ETH. And we have a few strict Bitcoin maxis, but aside from a handful, this is the strongest community out there. And I'm another real person here that has been in the RH projects. I got into Hex about day 300, okay? And we are here and we are focused. So that's reason number 2. And reason number 3, let's not discount the fat man. He loves to win. He will refuse to lose. And as a matter of fact, he's got a good amount of disdain for people who thought that they were going to sacrifice into his projects and just get a free ride. He wants you to work. He wants you to sweat. He wants you to have to feel those highs and lows. And we're all going to be rewarded. Not financial advice. I'm only a guy on the internet talking about magic internet money. Please don't listen to anything I say. But the reality is that if we hold these bags, we're going to come out on top, wealthy, just like we imagined ourselves being at the beginning of the sacrifice, okay? So now, back to the charts. Okay, so we're looking at this chart here, Pulse X. REKT down, but we are still at the top of this parallel trend. Yes, we punctured down a little heavier. This is the weekly chart through the parallel channel and through this golden triangle that I made, but we have recovered well. Let's look at what the daily looks like. We've got a nice green hammer candle going on now. That's a bullish formation. Although we are amidst a sea of red, we do have a glimpse of hope. As I just said that, we lost a tick, but that's fine. MACD is turning white, pink, however you want to call that. So we could be turning here. The MACD line's coming closer to the signal line. We have a bunch of room to move up on the daily. RSI looks positive. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. MACD looks okay, not super bearish. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. And the chart itself, although we've been wrecked over the last week and a half or so, actually over the last 8 months, if we look at the monthly, but the market structure isn't terrible, guys, and I know this is rough, But what I've noticed about charts is they love to revisit where they were, only to even find if it was a true ceiling or not. So let's just hang tight. We are going to see 301388 again. We are going to see this price right here again. And when I'm looking at this right now, hope, disbelief, a little bit of hope, back to disbelief. We might go hope, disbelief, hope, disbelief, hope, hope. And then look at this 11 months from now, if we can get back to around SAC price or just under, I mean, I know that's a low bar, but it's better than nothing, right? Hold on for ultimate glory. So let's take another quick look at the 3-day and the structure of this current move. This right here, folks, if we could recover strong from what we're experiencing right now, there is a lot of hope. So with that said, everybody, keep the faith. Keep your faith in the RH ecosystem. Keep your eyes on the prize. Don't fumble your bags, and we're all going to make it. Thank you again for watching Ayyoo Crypto. Until next time, y'all. Peace.